If you've ever finished a Whatnot stream and thought, how do I actually grow this? This is probably the missing piece. Raids. And I'll be honest, when I first saw the raid feature on Whatnot, I didn't really get it. It felt like I was just sending my viewers away, so I either ignored it or used it randomly. But once you understand what raids are actually doing behind the scenes, it completely changes how you see growth on the platform. A raid is simply when you send your audience into another seller's live stream, but the important part isn't the action, it's what that action leads to. Because on Whatnot, everything revolves around attention and momentum. When your stream ends, most viewers just leave the app, but when you raid, you keep that momentum going. Your audience stays engaged, they stay in buying mode, and more importantly, your name shows up in front of another seller and a whole new audience. That's where the real value starts. At first, nothing crazy happens. You raid someone, they say thanks, and that's it. But over time, something interesting starts to build. People begin to recognize your name. You pop up in chats more often. Sellers start to remember you. And that's when things slowly shift, because on Whatnot, people don't usually raid strangers. They raid people they're familiar with. So every time you raid, you're basically introducing yourself without having to pitch anything. And that's why this works so well long term. Now, one thing I had to learn is that raids aren't really about instant results. You're not going to raid someone today and suddenly get flooded with viewers tomorrow. It's more like building a small network over time. The sellers who benefit the most from raids are the ones who treat it like a relationship, not a one-off action. So instead of raiding random people every time, it helps to pick a few sellers in your niche, ideally people slightly ahead of where you are, and support them consistently. When you raid, stay for a bit, say hello in the chat, be part of the moment instead of just dropping viewers and leaving. Then when you're not live, jump into their streams every now and then so your name becomes familiar. It doesn't take much, but it makes a huge difference. Over time, you'll start to notice who interacts back, who remembers you, and who engages with you. Those are the people you want to keep building with. And naturally, that can turn into a small group of sellers who support each other and keep traffic moving between streams. That's when growth starts to feel a lot less random. And just to answer a question a lot of people have, the Whatnot algorithm doesn't directly reward you for raiding, but it does favor the kind of activity raids create, like keeping people on the app longer and increasing engagement, so it definitely helps indirectly. But honestly, the biggest benefit isn't the algorithm, it's the people. Once you start building those connections, you're not relying purely on chance anymore. You've got other sellers who know you and are more likely to support you. So if you've been unsure about raids or just using them randomly, try approaching them a bit more intentionally. Think of it less like sending viewers away and more like building your presence on the platform. Because the sellers who grow on Whatnot aren't just focused on what they're selling, they're focused on being part of the community as well, and raids are one of the simplest ways to start doing that.
9 seconds only, folks. Gotta be quick. Operate quick. Like I say, Booty, I believe it's